What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Showtime is Blaze King with King's Critiques, and we're back for Yuri Monday, back to see you at the food court. And we're gonna show Wada, and I can never remember the Jaru chick's name. I'm an awful person. Yamamoto, yeah. I just gotta start remembering her as the old man from Bleach. That makes sense, right? Probably not. But regardless, this is just like one of those cheeky slice of life things that doesn't really have much canon activity to it other than the girls being best friends, and well, that's what we're here to enjoy is the kind of, you know, bullshit they go through on a regular basis, and we laugh at it and enjoy how close the two are, because, I mean, listen, even if this is like a one-sided Yuri thing for now, it definitely is a Yuri thing, because, I mean, Yamamoto has Wada's name as her password on social media. That could be a best friend thing, that best friend thing, like I said in episode 1, but yeah. That said, though, let's get to our usual caveats of number one, if the video is shorter than intended, blame YouTube for not knowing how to check for copyright and having an AI do everything. They did to Sakamoto Days when I uploaded that yesterday, so I highly apologize. But you can go see things on the orange side completely uninhibited, and it'll be much more enjoyable for you. Sure, it has a little cost to it because I gotta be able to upload things full-fledged with no editing, and the only way to do that is to charge, but at least it's much, much more enjoyable. Secondary caveat, as per usual, would be the if you're enjoying this show or like shows like this, please don't forget to, stick around, hang out, have conversation in the comment section, because that's highly encouraged. But what is always appreciated, as the last caveat, would be letting the video run through, hit the like button, subscribe, and all that good stuff. That said, regardless, let's get into things, shall we? And yes, that title of the episode was exactly what it was. Yeah, her age is still a little weird. I mean, that is kind of a female thing, is still calling their parents that, in general. Not even up to a certain age, just like in general, but. Well, Wada, memories are also known as titties. It's just a very long word for it. The panning while they're talking about this is insane. Like, again, normally, as much as I love them, I try not to pause specifically on the Booba, but in this case, it's actually a matter of topic of conversation. No, today's artist topic must be titty, because, like, that was just 4 chicks in a row with, like, minimum D's. And, hey, I'm not gonna hide how much of a pervert I am in this regard, and I'm pretty sure that, at least for my discretion's sake, all 4 of those women were of adult age, so at least it's not as bad in this case, like it usually is. Isn't mammalia, like, mammals? In your case, yes, actually. Specifically in your case, yes. That is an interesting thought process to have about the conversation it has. At hand. I mean, granted, it does kind of make sense if you're going to contact someone who's as obsessed with the thing as, certain people can be, but if you're studying your ass off for 30s, that's probably not a good thing. What's that supposed to mean? I mean, I know the, like, stereotype for many years has been blondes are idiots, but, like, now everyone's an idiot, so you can't use that stereotype. At least she admits it herself. You literally just did yourself. No, she does have a point, though. Like, if they start studying there, that kind of eliminates the whole purpose to meeting up after school just to hang out. Like, if you may as well just, like, I don't know, go to each other's houses or something to study after your hangout there. At least then. Now, again, she kind of has a point. That was an awkward transition. They were having, like, a little moment, and then she talked about studying hard, and it pissed Watt off, and now Cicada at a toy store. Pet store? I'm sure you will. Chi-Chi Banare sounds like something completely different, honestly. So, to people who have never had a pet, anyone want to feel that one? Like, I know it very well could mean towards, like, many other things, but typically it's referring to, like, a pet or a baby. So I want to see if anyone can feel that one, because, like I said earlier, this thing up here is very hard to use nowadays for people. And, like, that's not more talking towards specific, like, knowing what words mean, more frequently than not, it's really just the spelling aspect, because the amount of times I see people misspell things on a public forum, I I know it's a really fucked up thing, but I can't help but cringe. Though I will pile on top of that, a lot of you people who do comment in my videos, I appreciate you, and y'all usually know how to spell pretty good. I don't think I've seen a misspell in a very long time, so congrats to those who do comment for actually having something up here. Well, I mean, maybe, because I never really pay attention to the calorie count of anything I eat in a restaurant, but maybe that would give some sort of excuse as to why you feel more full from restaurant food than home cooked food. At least most home cooked food, like something that takes an hour to prepare, at least that you probably feel pretty good from. Something that takes like 20 minutes, usually you're just hungry again, like 3 hours. It's like whatever. So, maybe, mayhaps, probably not, but. Well, yeah, but that's because vegetables are not filling worth jack shit. Unless you eat something like, I don't know, a couple of peppers. Those things are probably pretty filling. Not a vegetable person, couldn't say that, but at least a pepper looks like it has a good amount of heft to it. I actually think it's more carbs than calories that fill you up, because, I mean, that's why restaurants give you all that fucking bread to begin with. You fill up on bread and you eat your meal, and then it's like, oh shit, I gotta take part of it home. To be fair, she's kind of got a point. Like, in gotcha games, men are the least important ones. Like, there are a couple of gotcha games that's not true about. Pretty sure there's one gotcha game that is literally all just, well, two saying quotes of somebody else I have seen type the words, hot men. Like, there are gotcha games that are like that. They're primarily that. But most gotcha games, whether it be Japanese, Chinese, whatever, focus more on the females. For good reason, because the females kind of get more attention. That's why Fate started as I don't know, mostly a gender swap type of thing, because let's be honest, people pay attention more to the female figures and things like that. Like, that's why Artoria started as a female, and we didn't even get that proper male version until many series later. But yeah, I agree with Wada though. Males in gotcha games are just things. They're just kind of there. Might they have good abilities? Sure. They're just kind of there because they'll get power scaled or whatever in the future anyway. That's insane. I follow all the people who like the same character as me on social media so I can find all the awesome artwork. That's why if we actually were allowed to, have our scene on Twitter, then there would just be many, 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 many posts of Marin just the Blazer King has blah, the Blazer King is blah, the Blazer King is blah. It's yeah. Then I have my other Twitter account where that's why I share a lot of those. I just don't do it on my main account because that's mostly for the stuff pertaining to my personal life or the work aspect. My personal life stuff I should stop sharing as much because people probably don't care for it. But listen, it is a way to open up more to who the real me is as opposed to just hiding all of those thoughts and opinions on Facebook, where I mistakenly have also connected to my business side of things, but not to as high of a degree because I don't really pay much attention anymore. But yeah, that's a little self-centered, Lana. Okay, but out of all the Japanese terms I've ever heard of, okay, got it. And so they can put the copywritten restaurant businesses in here, but they gotta make up for okay, sure, whatever. Nah, but all that spooky shit on YouTube is actually pretty cool. I haven't seen a good video in a while uploaded by one of the people I used to watch a lot of because I used to binge Mr. Ballin and stuff for the spoopy or horror content and all that. But a lot of it's been compilation videos, and compilation videos throw me off a lot. It's you get into the nitty gritty and the good shit of one story, and then move on immediately to something else, and it's bruh. I mean, I do get that vibe though. If people randomly recommend me something, I probably won't watch it. But if I see people talking about it on social media and it looks interesting, that's one thing. Like high key, there's something that came out recently that I also want to add into that like list of 4 or 5 things I still haven't watched to episode 1 of this season. That's like it comes off as H content, but I don't know if it actually is H content. Like I do need to watch episode 1 still. I might record it because like if it's not actual H content, it will go up on the Orange Place and that kind of it'll be basically like Takamine. I still haven't finished uploading Takamine on here, but it'll get that treatment to where the full episodes will be on Orange Place and the cut up version will be here. Okay, no, but like, is that also just another thing to be a popular content creator? Like, do you just need a giant forehead? Because like, I make sure to cut off my bangs and people can start playing tic tac toe on my fucking forehead or something if that'll help. Okay, so maybe you do like him a little bit there, Yamamoto. How much longer I got? Bro, even luckier of a content creator then. Like, I envy those people. Like, this is why I wish I could have become bigger before I was an old piece of crap. Now I'm just an old piece of crap instead of a young piece of crap. Also, maybe why I should like tackling more horror movie reviews. Like, maybe I should take going to see I Know What You Did Last Summer over the weekend and make a video about it. Because, like, individual reviews like that rarely do get attention, but maybe. I'm a fan of horror movies for years. I can, like, feel more of them than I actively do. This is just a review channel, not specifically anime. It's just, like, mostly anime, because that's, like, the thing I can easily cover every day. Now, is she buying the book just to look into it more for herself, or is she buying the book for Yamamoto? Okay, I know she's not the one actually having this thought process based on the next line. She's like having a conversation with herself. Maybe she heard from her classmates. But whoever said this kind of thing needs to be put into fucking room with some books about nature and left there for a week. As I said, that is probably how conversations with their classmates went, but that means they're too stupid to be in high school. Okay. Lion cubs are absolutely fucking adorable, though. Also, that's just reminding me of everyone's, favorite longtime childhood show, Hamtaro. And I'm probably saying those words, and 90% of people who grew up after the year, 2005 probably have never seen Hamtaro. And that's depressing. Maybe that was honestly another one of those things that got me my first introduction into anime, honestly. Because, Hamtaro is more anime because it's starred in Japan. Pretty sure it's still ongoing, I could be wrong. But I think it's one of those things like Shin-chan or Hello Kitty where it's been on for, in eternity. And it just has never stopped airing. Maybe it stopped airing after episode, 4,000 or something, but as far as I'm aware, Hamtaro still exists. Yeah, well, training animals like guinea pigs and hamsters and fish die very fast, unfortunately. No matter how good you take care of them. Maybe not expensive fish die fast, but goldfish, yeah, no, them guys, them dead in a month, sadly. But no, literally though, the name of their nondescript copywritten show is Kintaro. Oh, yeah, that is very unfortunate to have when you buy any sort of rodent as a pet, and then it's just yay! It's oh, well. Completely understandable for a child that was probably 7, though. But damn, that's unfortunate. Guinea pigs, hamsters, these are really cool animals to have. Just, yeah, that sucks. At least she continued to take care of it, even if she had to be, super careful. But, yeah, I'd feel bad for it, too, if I had to take care of it like that and not actually, love it like it deserved because of one little incident. This question is very valid, not to an everyday life, but also to, the people that have been a part of that conversation over the past couple of years. How do you take down a bear? Because, a human, it's pretty obvious you could, kick people in the crotch regardless of gender, and usually they'll go down as depending on how hard you hit. Because, men, you don't have to hit that hard to make them go down. But, if for some reason you're being assaulted by a woman, that's, Yeah, you gotta kick them very hard down there and they'll go down. Because, like, the feeling is similar, but you just have to give a little bit of extra effort. Now, to take down a bear, that's similar to, like, I don't know, probably a shark attack. People say make yourself look bigger, but what if that's not good enough and the bear still goes after you? Then you gotta reel back and make sure you hit it as hard as you can in this area. Whether it's the nose or the right between the eyes, you gotta make sure you do enough to throw it off so you can escape. This is not an actual survival tip, by the way. This is just my thinking based on what other people say. So I don't want anyone to take it to heart if you're ever in this situation and I get in trouble for it. See, this relates back to the first half of my statement, and just because I already saw the next line clearly, that's factual. Because people would rather come and see what's wrong and then go like, oh, hey, this seems like it'll be good for social media, and then start recording. Because people are more, consumed by the content. Like, if you're going to be consumed by the content, at least, I don't know, like, do the scumbag thing of turn heroism into content. At least then you're, like, making an effort to save somebody. Like, it's a scumbag move to do, but at least, like, then you're doing what you should be doing as a human being. Or, like, it's completely different in some sense if you see, like, multiple people beating up on one person. Then I understand not trying to help yourself unless you're, like, well equipped. But then I guess what is well equipped? Like, you literally could, depending on the situation, I don't know, look around, be near a tree, see a branch laying down that's a good size, and just, like, go over to whatever's happening and just start hitting people with the branch. If it's hefty enough, it'll do its job. Also, by the way, I don't actually promote doing that. If there's many people, don't do the scumbag thing and record what's going on, but also at least, like, call the cops. That kind of connects to what I said earlier. While I don't promote trying it, eyes and nose, two of the best spots, in my opinion, to fight something if you have to. I don't promote doing it unnecessarily, but if you have to. No, pretty sure the shark incident is hit it in its nose, but because its nose takes up like 60% of its face. Okay, but would you rather it be a little disgusting to fight back against whatever's happening, or would you rather, get fucked up one way or the other? Out of context, I realize how bad this looks, but that can work sometimes, depending. Like, if they already have half your fist in their mouth, yeah, you'll get more injured, but just, like, shove it more in, because that should, like, open their jaws a little bit. And you might punch them in the back of the throat, so you'll have time to run. Again, not recommended. I mean, if you get abducted by aliens, like actual aliens, could go good, could go terrible. You never know. Aliens have had so many different ways of, being spoken about in recent memory. On the one end, could be like we thought back in the day where they're just completely evil and wanting to abduct you, stick something up your anus, and, have things go in a very awkward direction. Or they could be the cool kind of aliens who will, take you up into their ship and just travel across the stars with you for a while. They might drop you back off on Earth in 4 months, or you might never go back, but they might at least offer you the chance to go back and get some of your shit. Like in Guardians of the Galaxy. That took, why is his name escaping me? Yeah, they took Quill up and, treated him as their own, and eventually he was, just a normal dude. He wouldn't necessarily drop back off on Earth, but he did end up back on Earth for miscellaneous reasonings. Kitties. We love stray kitties as long as they are keeping safe. Only in Japan. Or the South. That is a partial joke. I mean, there probably are some people like that, to be honest. Like, no, there is definitely someone out there with hair like that. Maybe not eyes like that, but definitely hair like that. In some regards, I do understand that thought process, though. Like, that's what makes a lot of cosplayers work, because they do bring the 2D, bring the 3D into 2D into 3D? 2D into 3D, yeah, what she said. And so a lot of the times it works. Some of the times not so much, but a lot of the times it works. And then there's a lot of times where you see complete cursed imagery. Like that meme image of all the Love Live girls, but not them, just some creepy costumes on a train. Like, we thought you wanted this, Anon. It's like, yeah. Not like this, though. The way she's complaining sounds like when I have something edited in fast forward mode. I guess the eyes are a human's weakness, huh? Damn, she's all alone. All by myself. I'm not gonna go too deep into that. Okay, but like, sorry, I got distracted. Wanting to talk to your best friend about an insert fan fiction that came out is an interesting topic indeed. Talking to a very similarly built person to your best friend about your best friend ditching you, completely understandable, I suppose, though it didn't seem like she really liked many of her classmates, and I really should just hit the play button because it's kind of obvious why I'm just kind of dragging on, aren't I? Yeah, no, that is kind of awkward not to have her phone number as friends. That's, yeah, that's a shirt, alright. Oh, that's why she got it. See, like, again, I refer to the sure, sometimes, female best friends buy things for female best friends for the sake of it, but also, I'm still kind of leaning more the other way. But what if it is her birthday and you're not aware of it, so this is actually convenient as hell? Yeah, the whole sick thing should be a thing you should, tell your best friend about. First chance, though, because depending on the level of sickness, then maybe she just, like, was asleep all day. Who knows? And God, Lord. Okay, but, like, regardless on my current distraction, I do want to say at the least, like, the thing they're doing with a lot of Wada's classmates is literally like the old school cartoon thing, and they're making a lot of these characters seem like Miss Bellum. And that reference enough should show you what I'm talking about. Also, if anybody asks who Miss Bellum is, you're not old enough. Doing something. Okay, I think that's probably even weirder as a high school girl that comes to a mall and sits by herself near the window. Like, granted, maybe that's like some sort of creativity work. What if she's the one writing that fan fiction that Wada's been reading? Might just be a theory, an anime theory. Oh my god, I'm not wrong. Oh my god, I'm not wrong. And Wada realizes it. The utter. Oh, it's not shame and defeat. Actually, it's her thanking her friend. Or, well, classmate. They're not really friends. No, but that's insane. Imagine personally knowing the person who makes your favorite form of written, fan made content. She was about to tell Yamamoto too, and it's like, does she care? Does it matter? Yeah, whatever. You don't even know when my birthday is. I mean, if you guys have been friends for a while, I guess it does kind of make sense if she's never got her birthday present. So, like, crazy though. You realize one of your classmates is somebody who's actually been making a thing you've been reading for a month or two now. No, she's just respecting. What the fuck, Saito? Yeah, Saito. She's just respecting her advice because of who she is now. But what about that whole Oshi thing? Because, like, wouldn't that mean that one of your rivals also is making your favorite thing to read on a regular basis? Yeah, that's basically what was in Wada's mind, and also based as hell. I could only imagine what it would have been like to know somebody I personally know of was writing something pertaining to fan fiction, when I was reading fan fiction when I was young. Because, I did read a lot of that shit back when fanfiction.net was a thing. It probably still is a thing, but it's also not the most popular fanfiction place anymore, is it? Excuse me if you heard that. Because, like, there's a lot of those stories I don't think I kept up to regularly, but I did read a lot and enjoyed and, like, went back to read on occasion. I'm not really a person that rereads a lot, but like back then, yeah, sure, I used to on occasion. But like, if I ever found out someone I personally knew was the one writing that shit, honestly, I respected their opinions even more as well. So I get where Wada's coming from with that. But man, that was totally crazy. Like this episode, I couldn't really be like looked at weird for giving the kind of attention I did to a certain area because hey, listen, it was the title of the first episode, so like can't be given some shade for that. But now, as far as the rest of it goes, like maybe I like I said, should start doing more like horror movie related content on this channel because I think the closest I've done is just like recommendations in October, which I will probably do some more of, whether it be anime or actual horror movies, in a few months in actual October. So maybe I'll like start trying to compile like some more, I don't know, scripted content pertaining to horror movies instead of just horror anime come October. We'll see how that goes. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section because that's always highly appreciated to let me know your thoughts and opinions about stuff I should be doing or that you might want to see. But as far as the rest of the episode goes, they have a good friendship. Apparently not good enough because like even back when I had friends on a regular basis, like I knew a lot about them within a couple of weeks, and that wasn't just because the information that schools provided that everybody should know anyway for like general kindness. I knew things about my friends over time because we were friends, and that was shit I learned about them. Because when you actually like have the opportunity to talk to people, that's what happens. And honestly, I think I've said it before, and if not, I'm gonna say it again anyway. That's probably the best part about growing up and going to school, or being an adult and having a job that you want to jump off a roof for. At least you get to be around people on a regular basis. Like you're forced to be around other people for those things, and sometimes it's not terrible. Like working retail in any way, shape, or form, whether it be food customer service or a store customer service, it's god awful on the customer basis. But on occasion, your coworkers might be okay. I've heard more often than not that the coworkers for people in these horrible stories are usually decent. It's just like the bosses that are the worst of the worst and the customers that are like it's kind of like a double-ended thing. The people in the middle with you are okay. Customers shitty. Managers shitty. But that's also why this is what I try to do for what I do. Otherwise, my future is very dark. But I'm not gonna stick on that for the topic. What I will stick on is the whole. If you think you're friends with somebody, try to learn more about them other than just like sitting together and chatting for a while. Because like sure, you can learn stuff about each other while chatting, but how often is that going to stick, honestly? But they have a good relationship, they have a good friendship, and I could only hope to have either of those things again before I croak. Doesn't mean I'm going to go waste my time in a public space like people keep trying to say, because listen, unless it's a place I could like go where I can hang out with my peers, which I don't have the ability to do easily, because it either involves public transportation or transportation that could lead to a very bad situation. You never know. I would much rather just do my work and be happy with that, even if I am lonely and miserable for eternity. But that's why I'm also always saying, hey, I encourage conversations in the comment section about things to do with the episode or, whatever, really. Because at least that's, some sort of friendliness I can exchange with people. And while I'm friends with a lot of people in another creator's, atmosphere, and I do appreciate when some of them come by to check out the content on this channel, it's not the same as having friends you can, like, do stuff with. I mean, hell, I'd be happier if I had more friends I could, like, get into call to. You know, maybe like do some double reactions to things sometimes. That'd be kind of cool to do, you know? Hang out, call somebody, and do reactions live with them. That would be a great idea. Not just for like the sake of content, for the sake of fun, you know? But yeah, I do hope to one day have at least some modicum of a friendship like that again, because it has been a long time. I used to have friends who would stop by every single day to hang out and do shit. And that stopped around the time I turned like 18, 19, maybe a little older. Depressing, but that's unfortunately just how life is. But I'm gonna stop ranting and jawing on about that, because holy fucking shit, this has been an hour recording. Well, okay, I guess it's more been 50 minutes worth of recording, because I did take that little break I'm gonna need to cut out, but also, holy shit balls. Yeah, I'm gonna stop jammering on now, because I just realized how long it's been, and even if it's only been 50 minutes, it's been 50 minutes about something that the first episode was only 40 with. So you can let me know your thoughts about the show, what I said, and anything about the content within. But also let me know your opinions about what other sort of shows, movies, etc. I should check out this season, next season, or in general. There are still like 3 to 5 things I want to start, even episode 1 of I haven't yet, which is depressing. But yeah, that said, also don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the gaming channel in the description, ring both bells, like Facebook, follow Twitter, and Blue Sky, keep updated things. TikTok, Patreon, get the full on ad visuals and audio, the stuff I upload over there, because, well, they don't get inhibited like they do here, like yesterday's episode of Sakamoto. Because the orange guys aren't cucks like the red guys. Speaking of colors, don't forget to go follow on Purple Prime for free. I have more freedom to do stuff this week, but I will definitely try to get up at least a few times per stream. And that's it's been the Blaze King with King's Critique Sound. Ta-ta for now. Remind you to check out the playlist here, let it run through, have conversations with the stuff within, whatever. Check out the video YouTube recommends to you here, or if you're watching the smaller version, the bigger version of the video. And now, peace.